All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wednesday Night Reviews. Once again, I'm your host, Konrad, and of course, I wanted to share a graphic novel with you today. So this book is called The Realm. This is Volume 1, collecting issues 1 through 5, and it is a fun book. Honestly, I was afraid at first that it would be some sort of Walking Dead knockoff, but with dragons, which isn't inherently a bad idea, but it's kind of played out. The Walking Dead has been going on for, well, a decade or more. TV show's been going on for 8 years, I believe, now, or 9. There's figures, there's toys, and the story's kind of played itself out. I mean, how many comics or books or shows can we pull up about a post-apocalyptic world? That being said, I'd give it a shot, and I did, and I actually quite liked it. I was surprised. So the creative team behind this, the actual creators are Jeremy Haun and Seth M. Peck. The colorist for the book is Nick Filardi. The lettering and design done by Thomas Maurer. The editor, of course, by Joel Enos. And then the cover is done by Jeremy Haun and Nick Filardi. So the creator and colorist. It's a great cover. So, as mentioned, I was afraid that this book was just going to be sort of a knockoff of The Walking Dead. And at first, I did draw certain similarities. There's certain similarities in the characters, one of which resembles, in not a small way, Michonne from The Walking Dead. But it's not bad. It's not super awkward or weird. It's kind of a nice little throwback. Not that perhaps that was their intent. So the story basically follows the protagonist, pictured on the cover. And from the sounds of it, he is a mercenary. So if you have something that needs doing, you hire him. Now that might be kill something. In this particular story arc, he's actually hired to guide two scientists across the country, post-apocalyptic. So about 10 years ago or 15 years ago, orcs and dragons and monsters came back into the world, destroyed everything, ruined the way it is, and ergo, we're here. So our protagonist is, like I said, hired to bring these scientists across country, but before that, we're actually introduced to him via the butt end of his previous job, where he is bringing a woman to a king who wanted him rescued. Now, the king had told him it was his daughter he was rescuing, which is, I think, a rather noble quest, of course. We have a mercenary bringing his daughter back to the king. Great, wonderful, yay, job done, everyone's on the positive. But of course, hell no, that's not the way the real world works. The king lied, it's not his daughter, and of course, she literally impales him with a sword afterward, because the guy figures it out, she tells him what's going on, and he just thinks, well, I'm getting paid anyway, might as well. So she appoints herself the new king. It's a really fun interaction, though. The tension that they use to depict how it all goes down is great, because you really get this awkward feeling. So it's not just everyone shows up, they all say their piece, they all get angry and fight. You actually get to feel through the writing and the images, all the illustration, just how the tension sort of builds and how awkward it gets. And of course, we do also get a wonderful demonstration of how our hero, Nolan, can protect himself, or rather, can take out a whole bunch of dudes with guns and swords. And yes, his main weapon, as shown on the cover and throughout the series, he carries a sword at all times. Most times he has some sort of rifle, and then he is also depicted quite often with a pistol. Not to mention, he does a really awesome back kick, which lays a guy flat out. And of course, there are many other elements to the story going on. There is some sort of sorcerer contacting a higher power, which reminds me of Cthulhu, or perhaps something the like, very Lovecraftian. And just the way all the elements tie in together is great. Please go read this book. You'll love it. So overall, once again, please go read Realm. It is fantastic. Created by Seth M. Peck, Jeremy Haun, with colorist Nick Filardi, and Thomas Maurer on lettering and design. So please, enjoy Realm, Volume 1.